Avoid costly mistakes: how FDA packaging compliance can save you from recalls, FDA actions, and denial of entry at the port. I want to share with you our document on USA on food labeling for the FDA, fit for FDA, and let's go straight to the mandatory label requirements. And so it's important that you understand the FDA mandates by rule what is required on the packaging. And so the items that we need on the packaging is identity of the food. In an earlier video, I shared that this is one of the top 10 reasons that products are denied entry. Also, it's an important area for FDA actions as far as we must label and accurately identify the food that's in the container. For example, and I shared this earlier, ice cream in the United States is defined as 10% butterfat. So anything below that could not be labeled as an ice cream. So it's important. And it goes category after category after category that there's rules and requirements for the identity of the food. The next item is the ingredient statement. So very simple. Those must be in descending order as far as the quantity of that amount of product in the recipe and in the food product. Also in the ingredient statement, we're going to need to include the allergen statement, which is later on, but we'll include that after the ingredient statement. The amount of food in the package. And so this is one that I often see issues with: incorrect nomenclature, the sizing, the information. For the U.S. market, U.S. consumer, we have to use the imperial standard. We have to use the standard measurements for the U.S. market, and we can include metric, but we have to begin with the standard measurement. Name and place of business. And so we're going to need a U.S. business name here for that product. We're going to need to have the place of the business. I also recommend that we have either an email address or we want to have the full information on that. Nutrition information. This is one also that can be tricky because font size, when printed, it might look one way on a computer screen, but yet when we actually print it, because of printing methods, the font size might be difficult to read. And if it's below a certain size and there are requirements on those sizes, that can generate an action from the FDA. Not only that, but the nutrition facts panel, particularly with some of the changes, there's emphasis on calories now, along with their specific required nutrients that must be listed in there as well. And the next one is anything disclosing material facts about the food. So if there's any special information for your category, for the product that the consumers need to know, we need to have that on the label. If it's specifically, and particularly if it's for a safety issue or health reason. Allergen labeling. Now there's major categories of allergens in the U.S. market, and so some of the main ones are dairy, milk, dairy. So any kind of dairy product, tree nuts, along with other items as well, soy, etc. So we need to, on the items that are mandated, we need to include an allergen statement after the nutrition facts panel and after the ingredient statement. And so the allergen statement must be below the ingredient statement. And so, and there's the 7 basic ones. One of the ones that I notice that often have problems with is tree nuts. And so, for instance, coconut is a tree nut. So we need to define the fact that we have tree nuts, and then with nuts in particular, we need to tell on the allergen statement the actual nut. Lot batch codes. So we're going to need in 2026, we're going to need lot batch codes on all our labels. And so we might as well go ahead and begin that now. If we're creating a new label or for the next upcoming changes, we need to be aware of that. And this is something that's going to be inspected at the border. Denial of entry, one of the biggest enforcement actions by the FDA is the denial of entry at the port. And how this manifests is they'll inspect the product. So it'll be an inspection for several days, and then they'll ask for information. And then after they reviewed the situation thoroughly and gone over it, then they'll issue a denial of entry. And so you'll have two options with this. So one, you can pay for the port to destroy the product, or you can have it shipped back wherever, back to the country of origin, back out of the United States, just as long as it's not coming in. If if there's a problem with the product that they think it's unsafe, potentially could demand the product to be destroyed. But that's to be decided. Handling instructions: so refrigerate after opening, keep in a cool, dry space, etc. Those are on there as well as far as mandatory. So here's the mandatory label requirements from the FDA. Some of this is not FDA in that it's other agencies. And so that's one of the things a lot of folks get wrong with package design and package compliance, is that it is FDA compliant, but it may not be compliant for other agencies. I hope this information helps. If you have a question, send me a note, tim@timforrest.com, or if you have an innovative item or you're looking to import into the United States, jump on my calendar at timforrestmarkets.com. Thanks for watching.